The Stone and D Show, maxing out with Bobby B, Fourth and Inches with Remy Morris and Cam Brennan, Hoxie Four Corners with our football show, and now the first ever edition of Dunkin' Donuts Hendricken Basketball Show, all Hendricken basketball right here, folks. Sitting next to me is Coach Gomes. Coach Gomes, how you doing this morning?
Doing very well, guys. Happy to be here. Looks like a packed house at the Dunkin' Donuts in Cranston. But yeah, really excited about our upcoming season. We've got a couple of games under our belt already, and looks to be a promising one.
On his side, we have Jonathan Feeney. Jonathan, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Max. Just happy to be there. Coach, a question for you. Right there. Good game against West. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought overall there were a lot of good things. Our team this year has a lot of potential, guys. We have a smart group of young men that play really hard, that really love each other. You know, I think the makings of a very special team. Now, it's early in the season, so we have a long way to go. You know, the staple of our program and our culture with Hendricken basketball is our defense, and I thought we really played outstanding defense in our game against Cranston West, considering that we had an off night offensively. I didn't think we did great things on the offensive end, but yeah, I mean, we held Cranston West to 20 points. While we didn't really shoot the ball well on the offensive end, I think we were like 2 for 16 or something like that from the three-point stripe. But I thought our shot selection improved in the second half, which allowed us to get, I think, 62, 63 points on the board, you know. And I really felt it was, it was an offensive night for us, but the teamwork and the defense was outstanding. So I'm proud of our guys, but we got a long way to go.
Did you see anybody in particular that performed particularly well, showed some leadership overall of the team that game?
I would say overall, guys, that the majority of our players, if not all of them, have improved tremendously between last year and this year. Our seniors, Ira Loff, Danny Flaherty has improved tremendously. Jason Rosario has improved his game. And then obviously we're expecting a lot out of Justin Mazzulla and Kyle Hensler, our sophomore and our junior. They've improved tremendously. Dimitri Rosa has improved. Matt Ritchie, we 2 freshmen making the varsity team. I don't know if that's ever happened. Last year we had Justin Mazzulla make it as a freshman, and then later on in the season, Drew Ferguson came and joined us, who also this year has improved tremendously. Drew Ferguson's been a great addition. But Preston and Nick Mueller, they are talented young players. Preston at 6'4", very athletic, runs the floor like a deer, can jump, can rebound, can shoot the ball, but he still has a lot to learn, he still has a lot to learn. And Nick Mueller is physically strong, athletic, tough, fearless. So these guys, are part of the future of our program. So I'm expecting a lot, but it's going to be a learning curve for those 2 guys. It's going to take some time, but I would say, by hopefully, the next 3 or 4 weeks, by mid-season, they should be in good form to be able to contribute on a large scale to the success of our team this year.
Another question. How will you guys be prepared for the Utah game tonight, mentally and physically, since word has it that they are a good team?
Yeah, we'll be ready. This team from Utah, their coach, Tony Cannon, we had actually played a team from Utah. This was about 4 years ago. And they came down, and I was so impressed with their style of play and how they execute and their teamwork. And so one of their coaches had called me and wanted to play again. So they had played us 4 years ago. It was a different school. We had played Alta High School, and as I understand it, this school has expanded and split into 2 schools now. So the school we're playing, Corner Canyon High School, is a brand new school, like built in the past 2 or 3 years. And they're going to come with the same mindset. I've watched some video on them. They're like 4-1 right now out in Utah. They're predicted to be one of the better teams in Utah. They execute. They shoot the ball well. They've got size. They're very well coached. They started practice in early November, so they've got over a month of practice and games under their belt already. We just got 2 weeks under our belt, so they're going to be like a polished team. They're going to be in like mid-season form. So we're looking forward to it because it's going to be a good test for us to really see where our team is at this point in time. As we've got North Kingstown next Tuesday, who's a very formidable opponent. I don't remember the last time we've gone to North Kingstown and beat them at their place. That's how long it's been. And then after North Kingstown, we have to go down to Florida and playing teams from New Jersey, Kentucky, Ohio, California. So there are, this is going to be a good measure for where we are as a team right now and what we need to work on. Big challenge, no question about it.
Can you give us a little bit of some of the details about the Walt Disney trip coming up? I know we leave next Friday. 5-day trip, 3 guaranteed games. Just give me a general overview of it.
All right, so we brought one of our teams down to this tournament, the Disney Classic. It was 6 years ago in 2008. And when we went down back then, we weren't really sure what to expect. When we got back from that trip, it was by far the best tournament, the best trip we had ever been on in our basketball program ever. The facilities, we play in the ESPN facilities down in Disney, which are tremendous. They're world-class facilities. We play against teams from all over the United States, highly competitive. Very well-run tournament, and then you have all the other things that go along with all the theme parks and everything. But I told our guys, we're going down there. It's not, we're not going down there for a merry-go-round. We're going down there to play basketball and to get better as a team. So we're not down there necessarily to go and visit Mickey Mouse. We're down there to play basketball and to grow as a team. And to really use that as a springboard for the rest of our season. That's what this trip is going to be. It's a springboard for the rest of our season. And we're going to play some good competition. We're going to be tested. And hopefully we're going to grow and we're going to bond and bring that back to Rhode Island through the rest of our season. So we're really looking forward to it. The team is very, very excited. They are excited. I mean, it's a national tournament. There are something like 75 teams that are going to be down there that are split into different 8-team brackets. And we want to get down there. We want to compete and see what we're made of.
And anyway, this tournament, no matter if you guys fare badly, if you guys fare well, which I guarantee you will, saying that you've been on this tournament already, it'll only do your team better than it already is. You'll bring better stuff to the table when you play teams like LaSalle and even North Kingstown this Tuesday. So if anything, this could only benefit the team.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why our program, we try to get out of state as much as possible. We try to play teams from all over. It shows our guys that there's more than just what's going on in our little state. And when you're able to raise your level of competition and see what other competition is like out there, it tends to raise our level of play. And we've got other non-league games coming up too. Obviously, this game tonight against Utah, which will be a great game. But we're also playing at the Boston Garden in January 10th. We're playing Malden Catholic at the Boston Garden, which will be, I believe, the first time our school has ever played in the Garden. And for our guys, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them to play on the court. The Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, all these great teams play on this court. So it's just a great opportunity for our school, for the mission of our school, and for our team to really go out there and see things that we don't necessarily see in Rhode Island. and hopefully bring that back to when we got to come back and play LaSalle, and we got to come back and play, you know, the Mount Pleasants and the Hopes and all the teams that are on our schedule for the rest of the season. Like I said, I'm hoping that this trip is a springboard to success for the rest of the school year and the rest of our season.
And certainly all these headlines about the Hawks going all over the country, we're going down to Florida, we're going to the Boston Garden, certainly catches the attention of a lot of college boards and college scouts looking for basketball. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, we've got quite a few players on our team this year that are going to be able to play collegiate level basketball. For instance, Ira Loft right now is getting recruited by several Division III schools, mostly in the Massachusetts area. At our last game, we had 5 different colleges looking at our players. Danny Flaherty, I believe, is going to have an opportunity to play probably at the Division III level of basketball next year in college. We've got guys coming up. Justin Mazzulla's already been offered a scholarship to play at Boston College. He hasn't accepted the scholarship, but he's going to have colleges coming through the gym over the course of the school year in the next 2 years. Kyle Hensler, I feel, has the ability to play in college. I think Dimitri Rosa, even Matt Ritchie, some of these guys, by the time they graduate, are going to have an opportunity to play in college. Kid like Preston Santos, the freshman, Nicky Mueller, these guys are going to be collegiate level basketball players by the time they're out of Hendricken. So and that's just to name a few. I even think, you know, guys, Drew Ferguson, this kid's going to continue to improve. He could be able to play at the college level when it's all said and done. So I think this group of guys, when it's all said and done with, by the time they all graduate, we'll have a group of 7, 8, maybe even 9 college level players, which I don't think too many high schools in Rhode Island can say that they have that caliber of player. Now, a lot will happen between now and when they graduate, so there are a lot of other factors that go into it. But based on what I see as their potential, the potential is tremendous. And if they listen to their coach and they play hard and they do what's asked of them on a daily basis, I think tremendous things are in store for this group of guys.
Simply the key to success.
All right, Coach, last question. Going into all these games, how do you think your team will be able to handle the pressure?
This is, I would consider a mature, close-knit group of guys. I think they'll be able to handle it. Like I said, as long as they follow the directions of their coaching staff, as long as they stay humble and they remember the details and remember to stay focused, that's been our key, is to stay focused. This is such a close-knit group of guys that I think whatever adversities come up, we'll be able to get through it together. You know, and that's the key. I mean, it's a basketball team. It's not a basketball bunch of guys playing hoops. You know, it's a basketball team, and if they understand that, right, whatever adversities come up, win or loss, you know, we'll be able to get through it together, and hopefully we'll be playing our best basketball at the end of the season when it's the most important, and be able to make a run at a state title. These guys are hungry. The thing about this group of guys is they are hungry. If you ever come to one of our practices and you see them practice, these guys get after it. They get after each other's necks. If there's a loose ball, there's 5 guys diving for it. They want it bad, and that's usually a good recipe for success.
All right, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on the show, answering our questions. Yeah, Max, you want to add anything?
Well, just last question I have is reviewing last season and this season. Sure that we didn't have much of it, only 2 weeks into it. How do you think the team this year will fare against teams like LaSalle that have lost a great amount of senior athletes that have really benefited their team last season? And how do you think the loss of seniors this year will bring us down, but we'll be able to build back up on it?
I think that's just the cycle of athletics. You know, one class graduates, the next group's got to step it up, and then you add new guys into the mix. That's part of the challenge in coaching and building teams, is how do you maintain that high level of play when you're graduating good players. So I think the first thing, and we talk about a lot at Hendricken, is tradition and legacy. So I talk to our older guys all the time, our seniors, right, that how they play and how they act and how they behave and in everything that they do, they are leaving that legacy for the next group to follow them. So even though last year's group of seniors graduated, the legacy that they left behind, the legacy of hard work, of toughness, of resiliency, of defense, of listening, of being coachable, that legacy they leave back for the next group that has built the program to where it is. You know, win or lose, we're going to be successful, because I don't define success on winning. That's not what we do. We define our success on how we go about doing the things on a daily basis, on the process. Like, success is all about the process. It's what you do every day, right? And then the winning and the losing and the scoreboard, that takes care of itself in the end when you do things the right way consistently. So hopefully this team will understand that. We'll do things well and consistently this year, and we'll have a chance to play for a title at the end. But it's all about the process, guys. You know, it's about the process. You gotta, you know, the things you do on a daily basis is what matters the most. All right? Okay.
Thank you, Coach Gomes, for coming on the very first edition of Dunkin' Donuts Hendricken Basketball Show. Again, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Max. Thanks for having me. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
Awesome. Great job, guys. Awesome. There you go. How was that? Good? Yeah. We're still live. Thank you very much. Still live. Thanks. Yeah, I'll see you tonight. See you tonight, guys.
Okay, folks, we thank Coach Gomes for coming down for a few minutes, giving us his insights on Hawks basketball. We also want to thank George Wieners and the entire Wiener family, of which Max is part. I guess, well, whatever. But for allowing us to have a show down here on Saturday. I think it's a great atmosphere. Coffee, donuts, the whole 9 yards. And as far as what's coming up on the network, don't forget, tonight we have a double broadcast. We have at 6:30 hockey live from Thayer against Smithfield, and then we have basketball against Corner Canyon High School from Utah at 7. Both games will be live on the homepage at the same time. So that's a pretty big night. Tuesday night, basketball team is at North Kingston, and then next Friday, the basketball team, along with the network, head down to Florida, and we'll be able to broadcast all of those games to you live from the ESPN Center in Walt Disney. So, for Jonathan Feeney, for Max Wiener,